officially August. That means we're 1 month closer to bow season here in Arkansas, and we're getting ready for it. Here in the next couple weeks, we're gonna go up there and put out our cameras, put out our stands, start seeing what we got, trim up our lanes, all that good stuff. But for the next few weeks, we're trying to get a video out every Monday up until bow season. We have one out this Monday, we got one coming out next Monday, we got one scheduled for the next Monday, and so on and so forth. So anyways, this video is going to be my 9-point I killed last year. It was an interesting hunt for sure. Not necessarily the hunt, but the things that evolved around it. It was raining that day. It was cold. I didn't want to go in the first place, but I told myself I would. I had class. Brett got in a wreck. I was out of time for interviews, stuff like that, and I was covered up with deer the whole morning. So anyways, story about this 9-point. Originally, we started hunting another deer we called Charlie Horse. He was our primary target around there, and we started hunting him on another property. We got a tip on him from a buddy that lives in the neighborhood, and we were all about it. We went knocking on doors, and I got permission to a spot, and within the first night, we got pictures of him. And the landowner was like, yeah, we don't want them here. They tear up our shrubs and our trees and stuff like that. And she was big into gardening. They had all our plants. So she was like, yeah, come get them. So we said, okay. So we went and I hunted 2 sits out of there. And the next day I get a call, and she says she doesn't want us there anymore. Her neighbors are complaining to her about it. So we go into panic mode. We're like, dude, how are we gonna hunt this deer? And I go and I knock on a lady's door. It was 20 acres. She says, yeah, that's fine. Y'all go for it. So we're back in the game now. And we start walking around the property. We found a camera. We found a ground blind. We found somebody's been putting corn out. And we call our landowner and we say, hey, have you been letting anybody hunt here? And she was like, no, I'm not supposed to be letting anybody hunt here besides for y'all. And he's like, well, we just found a camera. We found a ground blind. We found some corn. She was like, well, have you checked the camera? And we said, no, ma'am. And she was like, well, check that for me. So we did, and the first 5 or 6 pictures on there was a picture of the 9-point I killed. He was the first shooter, I guess, we saw on that property. And there was also a lady with a crossbow in there. We told our landowner about it, and she got the cops involved, said, hey, this person's trespassing, and made us stay around and talk to him, give our report, and the cop he could care less. He didn't care. So anyways, after that, we started running a camera behind our house in a creek bottom, and we're still hunting Charlie Horse, but we have my 9-point, this deer right here, a couple other good deer coming in and out, but we don't have any Charlie Horse yet. So we kind of swapped our roles, said, hey, we're going to shoot one of these other deer, and when rut comes around, Charlie Horse will probably be here. So Brett comes up on a weekend, and he's in the stand in the creek. I'm in the ground blind up front. And he texts me and says, hey man, he's here. I'm going to shoot him. I was like, okay, you shoot him. And it wasn't him. He just walked through the woods. It was this deer right here. But all Brett could see was a good frame and thought it was him. So he doesn't shoot him that day. He goes back home. And I'm still up and going to school. And I'm still hunting every other day, every day, something like that. And it was Halloween, I think. I went hunting that afternoon. It was hot. The weather was bad. It was about to come a monsoon. And I told Brett, hey man, I'm going. And within the first, 30 minutes, I see some deer coming from the creek. And I get my binoculars up. And it's Charlie Horse. He's about to walk right across the creek, follow these does. I mean, everything's working out perfect. So he crosses the creek. I get him in the lane. I draw back and I shoot and hit him a little high. And I called Brett and I was excited. Hold on, I shot the deer or whatever. He was on his way up here to hunt that weekend. It's supposed to be a huge cold front coming through, so a great weekend to be in the woods. And after watching the shot over and over and over and over, we just decided that, hey, he's probably not dead. But we went back and checked the next day, walked the whole property, didn't find anything. And about a week later, I was running cameras and we got some pictures of him back in there. So we knew he wasn't dead, but he was probably boogered up for most of the season. So anyways, after that happened, I went and did a few hanging hunts where I got my saddle, climbed up maybe 400 or 500 yards away from where our primary set was, and I wound up killing this deer. I killed him at 15 yards, and it was right at dark, not enough light to film, so there ain't no footage of that. Other than I think me and Chase dragging him up that mountain, which sucked. So, fast forward a little bit, and it's November 13th sometime. And we moved to sit up there in front of our house. We started running a camera there, and we got unknown, picture perfect, another deer, but we don't have the 9-point, we don't have Charlie horse. And the 9-point was coming in pretty regular down there at the creek bottom, but just shut off, don't know where he went. So we go looking. I mean, I'm driving everywhere. I haven't seen this deer, I don't know where he is. And one day, our landowner calls me over and asks me, hey, can you help me? I said, sure. And as I'm coming out of our driveway, I see a deer run out the road, and sure enough, it's our 9-point. He broke his G3 on the right side, but sure enough, he was still a good deer. We were going to shoot him if we saw him. So it's November 13th, 14th, 15th, somewhere in there. And I looked at the weather. I told myself I was going to hunt in the morning because I had a little bit of a window to do it. My class didn't start at 9:40. And look at the weather. It says it's supposed to be raining. So I was like, man, do I go? And I just decided, I was like, all right, I'm going to get up. I'm going to see if it's raining too bad. And if it ain't, I'm going to go. So I woke up that morning, and it was freezing cold, and it was pouring down rain. I'm talking about a monsoon. I told myself I'm going to go. I'm already up. I'm going to go. So I went. I was running late. On the way there, I saw one of our shooters. I got a little bit of film of him standing in the woods. I didn't have time for an interview. When I got in the stand, I pretty much just covered my camera up so I wouldn't get soaking wet. So I really didn't interview in the stand. I had deer around me all day. I had guineas coming in and out. And then about 8:50, I looked down. I'm texting Brett, and I looked down, and that 9-point is just standing there. And we got about a 3-foot to 4-foot gap, something like that, to shoot through. That's our only shot all the way around us, is that 3 or 4-foot gap where we have our camera at. And I turn the camera on, I grab my bow, I draw back, and he backs up a little bit. And I'm still debating on shooting him, and then I look down and I can see that he's not in the frame of the camera. So I'm like, oh, I can't shoot him, I gotta wait. So he calms down, he comes back up, and I drilled him at 18 yards maybe. So I called Brett, and he was like, hey, wait on me, I'm coming up there anyways to hunt. I said, okay, I'll go to class, and you'll be up here about 12 or 1 o'clock. He says, yep. So I go to class, I get out. I'm waiting. And about noon rolls around, I call Brett and I say, hey, where you at? He says, I'm pulling in the tunnel right now. So we talk for maybe 30 more seconds, and then I hear tires screeching and a bunch of commotion, and then the phone just hangs up. And I'm like, what just happened? So I call him back, he doesn't answer. I call him back, he doesn't answer. And on the third time, he answered, and I was like, dude, what just happened? And I could tell something's wrong. And he said, dude, we just got in like a 13 or 14 car pile up. There was a blowout in front of me. Nobody could stop. They just piled up on each other, but my truck's totaled. So I'm freaking out, and I'm like, okay, I'll come get you. And then one of our buddies wound up going and getting him. And when he got there, he still wanted to hunt that afternoon. So we just got out with the deer. And he was still kind of beat up and shot. So we didn't really get any recovery footage. But other than the shot footage, that's all I got that day. So yeah, that's the story about the 9-point. Like I said, we're trying to put a video out every week up until the time that bow season starts, and I guess we're about to see what we got this year.
What?
So I'm done bow hunting.
Wow.
Bad shape.
What do you mean?
It's bad shape, man.
You missed?
No, I ain't got no more tags.
Did you kill him?
9 point.
Really?
Yeah, I just did.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Like, you literally texted me, like, right after I shot.
Dude, let's go. Did you smoke him?
Yeah.
Did you film it?
Yeah, it didn't pass. Dude, I was on my phone, and I just look up, and he's right in the corn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck? And anyways, I grabbed my bow, and he turned, because he was kind of sketchy about the corn. And anyways, I grabbed my bow, and I drew back, and he walked behind these 2 little trees. I was about to shoot him through the gap, and I looked at my camera, and I could see that the camera couldn't see him or anything, so I waited, and he came back around.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. I heard he came back around.
Anyway, he came back around and let it fly.
Did you smoke him?
It didn't pass through, but I hit where I was aiming.
Did you hear him crash?
I don't know if I heard him crash. He was making a lot of noise going through them woods, though.
Where did he run to?
Back across your driveway.
Push poles?
Yeah.
Well, what time you got class?
An hour and a half, or hour and 10 minutes.
Well, you want to go to that and wait on me to get there and go get him?
Well, of course.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm about to eat breakfast and roll out, so.
So you'll be here about noonish?
I'll be there about
1,
yeah. What time you get out?
I get out at 10:30, but I'm gonna be in the library most of the day today studying. I got a test tomorrow.
Alright. Well, whenever you get out, just go to the library. When I get there, we'll go find him.